So I'm Naomi. I help lead the Lighthouse Kids. So you would have seen me dancing about at the front on a Sunday morning.
In the new church, there was some painting to be done. So I've been painting and cleaning.
So I also have been involved in the hospitality team, so mostly making tea and serving it to people.
I help with welcome at the moment and stewarding.
Well, I mean, just doing the media, so taking all the cute photos of everyone at church, making sure we can show everyone the fun we're having.
I have also been on a team serving refreshments, which involved cleaning the kitchen floor as well.
Help on the sound desk.
Over lockdown, I learned some new IT skills for how to edit videos and make kids worship songs.
What else have I done?
I helped do the rota for Kids Church and plan the sessions.
Doing some washing up and cleaning the kitchen. And then more recently, doing a bit more kind of admin type stuff behind the scenes. So for our Sunday services to happen, just registering people and making sure that online sign-ups are all working.
And also doing the gardening, making sure the outside is presentable, setting up the gazebo before church in the morning.
Was involved in refreshments and all that kind of stuff before, and then we had guests helping with organising that.
I keep the records financially and do stuff like that, attend trustees meetings.
I also helped decorate the building, which was super exciting, and myself and Ed lead New Ground, which is one of the home groups.
Yeah, doing the camera in church during the service as well. And obviously back in the day painting the church as well.
I suppose to find myself doing whatever comes up really. If there are things to do, then just much like probably the guys have said already, if it's there to do, then let's get on and do it, rather than hang around and wait.
What is kind of the mindset behind your serving? I mean, just picking up on some of the phrases like, I'll do whatever's needed to be done. None of you actually is just doing one thing, which really fascinates me. Why are you so committed to doing these things, and what's driving you? What's your mindset?
And a bit like Vinny, if I could see a job that needs doing, then I just want to go and do it.
When I think of being part of a church, I think of being part of a team, and like our ultimate goal is sharing Jesus and bringing people to know him.
I suppose that the underlying word is servant, isn't it? And what are we called into in being part of God's kingdom is to serve. Because time is so valuable, isn't it? So precious. And it's good to use that time in a way which is productive and useful. And what better way than to serve?
It might be easy to think, I could never do the finances, or I could never lead worship. Like, I would never lead worship, that would never happen. But equally, like when it's said, it's kind of, if you can see something needs doing, if you think of it as church is our home and we're part of God's family, we're part of church family together. When you see something needs doing, or when you're having guests in your house and you want people to feel welcome and like they're part of your family, you just get on and do something. So I think, we might not be able to do something that somebody else can do, but God's made us each unique and different.
If we all love Jesus, we all love our community, we love our family and our friends who attend, but we also have a voice. So like, if you were to go to church and you're just sitting there, that's fine. But in my perspective, if I have that ability to serve my church and serve my friends and my family and use my voice or my gifts to reach someone who potentially might not hear me if I remain silent, then that's all the better.
I think quite early on, I mean, you all know my husband, John, for those who are listening. He's an upfront person. He's a preacher, he's a teacher, he's a pastor, he's a people person. And in the past, I was tempted to think, Lord, you've made a mistake. You haven't given me the right gifts to be a missionary's wife, a pastor's wife. Why can't I do these things? But then I began to realize that actually I can organize. I can do practical things, so I can complement the gifts that John has.
It really ties with a verse that I thought I might read, because we've been doing this series in Peter, And in 1 Peter 4, just one verse, 1 Peter 4 verse 10 says, each of you should use whatever gift you have received to serve others as faithful stewards of God's grace in its various forms. And like when I look at you guys, I see you guys doing that. You're using the gift that you've received to serve others. Jesus served us by coming to earth, but also by washing his disciples' feet in that radical act of humility and serving. And so we are, just as has been said, called to serve.
But yeah, I think as well, just that idea of it's not a duty, but it is a joy to serve. So I think by us always focusing on Jesus and on God and what he has done for us, it's kind of that outpouring of God's love, and that's why we want to go on and bless others as well.
It's no good coming to church saying, oh, they're not a friendly bunch, nobody's doing this, nobody's talking to me. But if you actually go out of your way and make the effort and talk to people or do things to people, then actually you become more and more part of that group of people, that family.
Just as we've been talking, it's reminded me of that verse that says, whatever you do it as if you're doing it for the Lord and not for men. And I think that when I'm like prepping for Sunday school or getting ready to go do the actions up at the front, although I'm doing it for the kids, I'm also ultimately doing it for God and for his kingdom. And I think when you have that attitude, you're automatically going to strive to do your best. And it doesn't have to be prepping for kids' church or doing actions at the front. It can be something like making tea for people your best, smiling at people, going up to someone that you don't know and have never seen before and chatting to them your best. Whatever you do, your best for God is going to be an amazing thing. And imagine if everyone every week does something small, their best for God, how great working together at church could be.
And I was in a situation the other day when it was cold, it was wet, I was uncomfortable, but I thoughts that went through my head was, I'm not doing this for myself, I'm doing this for someone else. And that really, it kind of inspires you. Are you with me? You're not thinking about, as much as you're cold and you're wet, it's a motivation, it keeps you going. You think, I'm doing this for God, and I want to do this for him.
I can't, even if I want to do it myself, if I literally wanted to do that task myself, it's not possible. Because if British sees me, or if Colin sees me, or if anyone sees me try and do it by myself, they'll like be on me like a hawk. Like they'll be like, let me help you, let me help you. That's the joy of it. It's just like, you know, we all get there really, really early sometimes just to make sure that church is ready. And at the end of the day, we all go there because we all know that we'll all be there at that time, waking up together, so that, you know, everything just moves so much more smoothly.
Age is no barrier to serving either. Whether we're young, whether we're middle-aged, we're older age, as long as we've got the energy, obviously, there's something we can do. We don't retire from serving the Lord. We just carry on.